My name is Grace Anderson, and I learned something important about revenge. Sometimes the most powerful form is simply stepping back and letting karma do its work. I'm a 42-year-old marketing consultant in Charlotte, North Carolina. My husband, Michael, and I had been married for 17 years. We met in college. He was studying architecture. I was pursuing business. We built a comfortable life together, not extravagant, but secure. We had our home, our routines, our shared dreams of early retirement. Michael's younger sister, Diane, was someone I tried to embrace as family. She was 35, worked as my administrative assistant at the firm I'd built from nothing. I'd given her that position 3 years ago when she was going through a difficult divorce. She seemed grateful then. She called me her role model, her protector. Looking back now, I see the signs I missed. The way she'd linger when dropping off files to Michael's home office. How she always needed his opinion on the smallest decisions. The secretive glances at family dinners that I attributed to sibling connection. It was a Tuesday afternoon in September when I discovered the truth. I came home early from a canceled client meeting. I heard laughter from upstairs, familiar voices, in an unfamiliar harmony. My heart knew before my mind accepted it. I didn't confront them that day. I stood in my kitchen, trembling, and made a choice. I would be methodical, patient, strategic. Over the next 3 weeks, I gathered evidence quietly. I documented everything. Then I began making phone calls. I canceled every credit card that had Michael's family members as authorized users. His mother, who'd made a habit of expensive shopping trips on our account. His brother, who'd been charging his car repairs to us for years. All of it stopped. I didn't announce it. I just quietly closed the access. Then I called Diane into my office on a Friday morning. I kept my voice calm, professional. Diane, I'm going to have to let you go. Budget cuts. I'm sure you understand. Her face went pale. Grace, please. I need this job. I have rent. I'll provide 2 weeks severance, I said softly. I think that's more than fair. I watched her leave, carrying that small box of desk belongings. I felt something then, not satisfaction exactly, just a quiet sense of order being restored. But I wasn't done. I waited. And as I'd predicted, the financial pressure mounted quickly on Michael's family. His mother called him in tears about declined charges. His brother complained loudly about having to actually pay his own bills. Diane stopped answering his calls after she couldn't make her rent payment. Then came the mistress, a woman named Vanessa that Michael had apparently been seeing before Diane. She'd reached out to him again, seeing an opportunity. Michael, feeling vulnerable and confused, fell back into that pattern too. I watched my husband drown in the chaos of his own choices. His family blamed him for their financial troubles. Diane felt used and abandoned. Vanessa made demands he couldn't meet. His architectural firm lost clients because of his distraction. Within 3 months, Michael's life had collapsed. Not because I destroyed it directly, but because I removed the safety net he'd taken for granted me. My stability, my money, my forgiveness, my willingness to hold everything together while he betrayed me. I filed for divorce in December. Clean, simple. I kept the house, most of our savings, my business. He didn't contest it. He looked exhausted in the lawyer's office, aged beyond his years. The last time I saw Michael, he was moving into a small apartment across town. His mother wouldn't help him. She was still angry about the credit cards. Diane had moved back home with her parents. Vanessa had left when she realized there was no money. He looked at me with something like understanding. You knew all along, didn't you? He asked quietly. Yes, I said. You could have confronted me, screamed, fought. I smiled gently. I could have. But you needed to understand what you were giving up. Not through my words, but through the natural consequences of your choices. He nodded slowly. I destroyed everything good in my life. You did, I agreed. And I'm not going to rebuild it for you this time. I walked away from that conversation feeling something unexpected. Peace. Not the bitter satisfaction of revenge, but the calm clarity of knowing my worth. That evening, I sat in my home now, truly mine, and poured myself a glass of wine. The house felt different, lighter somehow. The room seemed to breathe. Easier. My friend Patricia called to check on me. We'd been friends since high school, and she'd supported me through everything. How are you really doing? She asked gently. Honestly, I'm okay. Better than okay. I feel free. No regrets about how you handled it. I thought carefully before answering. I gave Michael and his family everything for years. My time, my money, my loyalty, my trust. When they betrayed that, I didn't destroy them. I simply stopped protecting them from themselves. That's not cruelty. That's natural consequences. You're stronger than I would have been. Patricia said. Maybe. Or maybe I just finally learned that kindness without boundaries isn't kindness at all. It's just enabling people to take advantage of you. We talked for a while longer, about new possibilities, about the business expansion I was planning, about the trip to Italy I always wanted to take. After we hung up, I walked out onto my back porch. The autumn air was crisp, carrying the scent of wood smoke from a neighbor's fireplace. The sky was deepening into twilight, stars beginning to emerge. I thought about that phrase Diane had used, love nest. She'd wanted to create something beautiful with my husband. Instead, she'd helped create a disaster that consumed them both. True love, I'd learned, isn't about grand gestures or secret passion. It's about showing up, day after day, with honesty and respect. Michael and Diane had neither. They had only appetite. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is walk away. Sometimes revenge is just refusing to save people from the consequences they've earned. I'm building a new life now. One where I'm not constantly giving pieces of myself away to people who don't value them. One where my kindness is reserved for those who return it with integrity. And honestly, I've never felt more alive. The nest they built together, that nest of lies and betrayal, collapsed under its own weight. I didn't need to burn it down. I just needed to stop holding it up.